Let's move on. Fresno State at Michigan. The Bulldogs are hoping to come away with some more Big Ten upset magic after they upset Purdue last year. Unfortunately for Fresno State, Michigan is not Purdue. So, they are favored by 21 here. I do think that there is a lot of interest going into this one. A lot of new starters for Michigan. A lot of these guys did play last year, so it's not like they're completely unknown. However, there are a number of new players playing. So, Kent, I'm going to ask for you, who is one player in particular you want to see play well or maybe do something in particular to really give confidence for Michigan fans that, hey, we're still national contenders, pick us for the playoffs, that kind of stuff.
I'll go off the rails just a little bit here. I'm going to go Kalel Mullings to play really well because I think that what Donovan Edwards did last year for Blake Corum, he's now kind of in that role where Don's now carrying the load. I call him Don because I play with Michigan in my dynasty. So I have to, so we're on a first name basis now. But I think that he's kind of, in that backup role that's very important for Michigan, a very important backup role. Donovan proved that last year. So if Mullings can step up and have a season like Donovan Edwards had last year, I think that Michigan's going to be in a good spot. So that's the player I would say that I'm keeping my eye on the most.
We have Blue Wolverine waving. I hope that's a hello wave. I hope that's not a goodbye wave. But hello,
did I say something bad?
or goodbye. We just started talking about Michigan, so maybe goodbye. I don't know. EV says, if only Fresno can pull off the upset. Yes, with the Buckeye or mascot, with the Brutus picture there. I'm sure you are rooting for that. Zach, who's a player for you that you think needs to play really well to give Michigan fans kind of that bragging rights that, hey, we're still national contenders?
I don't know if it's the player that's gonna say bragging rights. Well, I'll give you two. I think one is Barham, the linebacker transfer from Maryland. I think he's the guy that if he flashes, it's like, oh, our defense is back. The guy I'm really intrigued by, Roman Wilson and Cornelius Johnson were underrated guys. And I think not a lot of people talked about the receivers, but they were clutch for Michigan. Tyler Morris had a big Rose Bowl, big touchdown in that game. I think he's going to flash in this game, and he might become maybe not their go-to receiver, but he has the speed to outrun angles. And I think that's an under the radar pick to be watching out for Michigan.
Yeah, I think that's a really good pick. I like the Jaishawn Barham pick as well. There's a lot of talk about how good he is going to be. Michigan, their linebackers had a ton of tackles last year, and Ernest Hausman himself was third on the team leading tackles. Barham only had 39 or 34 or something like that last year, and then only 50 the year before that, which I say only 59, sorry. So he's going to have to get a lot more tackles this season. I know he's going to be a good blitzer. I know he's going to sack the quarterback and do a really good job there, but I think that he needs to show his ability to, be on the field at all times, making all these tackles. I get it. Maryland plays a little bit a different defense, so that impacts it. But still, I think he needs to get a number of tackles this year to do that. I can't believe neither of you said Alex Orji. That's my guy. Alex Orji has got to play well, specifically on 3rd and 4th down, in order for me to have confidence in this Michigan team that they're going to continue to be national contenders. They have the defense. I think the wide receivers are good enough. I think the running backs are much better than people give them credit for. Mullins is going to do a good job. I think Donovan Edwards had a down year last year, but he's going to come back from his down year and do a very good job as well. Is he Blake Corum? No, he's not Blake Corum, but he's more explosive than Blake Corum was. So he might add that element to the offense that Blake Corum didn't add as much. But at the end of the day, who was the guy that there were so many crucial 3rd downs, so many crucial 4th downs where JJ McCarthy went out there. He was calm. He was cool. He was collected. He had an 87.5% completion percentage on 4th down, guys. 87.5. That is incredible to have that. A 214.9 QB rating, 1 touchdown, 0 interceptions, 0 sacks on 4th down.
I was told all he did was hand the ball off.
Well, that's not it. He also converted those 4th downs a lot. The only player that was better statistically, I went through, I mean, maybe there's like some Coastal Carolina guy that's better. Sorry if there isn't. I went through all like the quarterbacks that got drafted and things like that. The only player that was better on fourth downs last year than JJ McCarthy was Jalen Milroe. And that was because he only threw 4 balls on fourth down. So it's like when you only throw 4, you know, you have a little bit better numbers. But, and then on third down, JJ McCarthy had 67.1% completion percentage, 169.7 QB rating, 6 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. The only player that had better stats on third down last year than JJ McCarthy was Bo Nix. So I think it's underrated how much JJ McCarthy was good on fourth and third down for them last year. I hate saying that as an Ohio State fan, but it's the truth. And when I do the Big Ten podcast, I try to do my best to give you the truth and not be biased, even though I know I am. But at the end of the day, like Alex Orji has got to be really efficient. I've heard some people say, oh, if he just throws 64% completion percentage, they'll be good. No, not on third and fourth down. He's got to be better than that in order for this team to be able to do what they do and be really efficient. So any thoughts on Alex Orji or any of the guys that Kent said, Zach?
No, I mean, I think you guys are both right. Talking with our friends over Out of the Blue, they referred to Kalel Mullings as an annoyance for teams, and that sounds how I feel as an Ohio State fan over the past several years with guys like Blake Corum and Hassan Haskins. It's like, oh, you're going to hand it off again, and it's going to be another first down. Yeah, it's not fun. And then I feel like the quarterback's a given, so I think that's a good. Those are great picks.
Awesome. Kent, before we move on to the next one, got any thoughts on Orji, Barham, wide receivers, anything like that?
Yeah. If he plays anything like he does in the video game, then he's going to be just fine this year. He's picking up third and fourth downs left and right for me all the time. So I have no worries about him converting. And the video game's pretty accurate, I would say. So I think he's going to be just fine being able to complete those passes and be able to pick them up with his feet as well. So that's how I think it's going to go, just like a video game.
We're definitely going to see that Quinshon Judkins spin move in real life at some point this season.
No doubts.
All right. Good stuff there, guys.
Are we doing scores for this one too, or no?
Do what?
Are we doing scores for all of them, or no?
If you want to give a score, you can. I didn't do a score for this one.
I've got a score.
Go ahead, Zach.
I've got 34-17. I don't. Fresno State. I mean, I know we joked that Michigan's not Purdue. Fresno State's a good Group of 5 team and got a good quarterback in Keene. And I think it's going to take a little bit for Michigan to kind of gel on just with all their new starters, but Michigan will ground and pound and they'll win convincingly, but they won't cover in my humble opinion.
You got them right on the dot. What'd you say? 38-17?
34-17.
Oh, 34. Okay. If I had to give one, I'd probably give something. I'm just a little bullish on the offense going into the year. Or not bullish. I'm a little down on the offense going into the year. So I'd probably do something like 24-3, 24-7, something like that. This Michigan defense is going to rock. I mean, I know Fresno State's pretty good, but I don't know if they're going to give up 17 points. That's just me. But all right, guys, we'll move on.